Good morning. So today we are going to be talking about an example of figurative language, which has been in our unit and it's also in our poem, in our wonder story, such as the sandpiper and the bat, which we are reading right now. So what are some examples of figurative language? A metaphor, onomatopoeia, and what do we think of one that uses like or as? Does anyone know that one or remember that one before we go over it? A simile, good. So, instead of saying, last night my bedroom was cold, there's not a lot of detail, okay? Said, boring. We want more detail. We want to drag the reader in. We want them to interpret what we were saying instead of just saying it. So, instead of last night my bedroom was cold, last night my bedroom was as cold as a glacier. Does anyone know what a glacier is? Yes. Okay, a glacier, wonderful job. A glacier is an area that is really cold. Examples of this are Alaska, Antarctica, and it is freezing. Much more interesting. Now, I know we have an idea of what a simile is. We said contains like or as. Let's dive a little deeper into it since it will be in our poems. Our goal of this lesson is to make sure we can identify and list similes that are not only in our poems, but eventually create our own similes. So a simile is a type of figurative speech. So figurative speech, figurative language. A simile is when you compare two unlike things by using the words like or as. So as we went over last week, we went over metaphors. You're comparing things, but you're not using like or as. When you're dealing with a simile, you are using like or as. So as soon as you see like or as, you know a simile, not a metaphor. I know that this can create some confusion, but we just want to make sure that we're differentiating the two. Even though the two things are unlike each other, they do have something in common that allows them to be compared to each other. Let's go back to the glacier. A glacier and the cold are similar, and the thing that they have in common is that they are both cold. Good writers like to use similes because similes make their writing sizzle. So they add a little extra pizzazz, interest that drags that reader right in. So now let's make our writing sizzle. So we're gonna look at some examples of what you can do to make it a little more interesting. Instead of last night, my bedroom was cold. Last night, my bedroom was as cold as a glacier. So let's stick with that. We're comparing the bed being cold to a glacier. We're breaking it apart so we understand exactly what we are comparing. How are they alike? They're both cold. They have that similar trait. Here's a different example. Instead of she had blue eyes, what do you think we could say? Let me take some examples. Go ahead. Okay. So when we think of blue eyes, we think of the ocean. Very good. I love that. Anything else? Okay. We think of water. Good. Her eyes were as blue as the tropical ocean waters. So we combined what our two friends said. Oceans, water, and now tropical. Awesome. We are comparing the eyes to what? Yes. The ocean, the blue tropical waters. Perfect. And how are they alike? They're both blue. So you could have said rain, even though rain is clear. When we see it, we often think of blue, could have thought of the sky. Perfect. Another example, instead of the baby had a nice smile, what could you say when you think about smile? Let's think of teeth. Okay, shines like a diamond. I love that. What else could we say? Okay. White like a cloud, white like a cotton ball. Awesome. So, this went in a different direction. Instead of talking specifically about the teeth, we said when we think of a smile, we also compare it to being bright. So bright can mean happy or also could mean outside. So the baby smile was bright, like the morning sunshine. You like that? Thumbs up if you like it. Awesome. Now what are we comparing? What's the first thing we're comparing? Good. The baby's smile. And what is that second thing we are comparing? The sun. Awesome job. And how are they alike? They are both shining bright. Awesome. So, let's break this down. I like orange juice the best. The dog's bark was as loud as an explosion. Please be quiet as you come into the room. The excited kindergartner hopped down the hall like a frog. My cat does not like my dog very much. The sheep's fleece was as white as snow. So, when we take a look at the first one, I like orange juice the best. Yes, it has like in it. Is that a simile? Am I comparing orange juice to something? Thumb up if you think I am, thumb down if you think I'm not comparing anything. Good job. It's going to be a thumb down for that one. Just saying I like orange juice the best. Not saying the orange juice looks like an orange, right? Then, the dog's bark was as loud as an explosion. Was the dog's bark an actual explosion? No. But has anyone's dogs ever barked really, really loud and it seems like a lot? Yeah. So, you want to break that apart. Now this has as in it. Please be quiet as you come into the room. Am I comparing the room to anything? No. Good job. Now, the red one. The excited kindergartner hopped down the hall like a frog. What am I comparing a kindergartner to? Gonna wait a second. Yes. Like a frog. Very good. So is that a simile? My cat does not like my dog very much. Even though I'm talking about my cat and my dog. Am I comparing the two? No. Then, the sheep's fleece was as white as snow. What am I comparing? Good. The fleece of the sheep as being snow-like white. Awesome job. Now I'm going to show you a quick video so you can see exactly how often we see similes. Make sure we're looking. Good job. I know you guys know this one. We talked about this. Okay, so we're gonna stop. So, now that we watched a little bit of that video, now what you're going to do is you're going to get inside your small reading groups and we are going to go over a worksheet. Now, the worksheet has to do with, what do we think? Raise your hand and tell me. Similes, good. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify what is a simile, and then at the end, you're going to write your own. So be prepared to share, and I will walk around, make sure everyone's okay. Once you have completed the paper, you will write your number on the board, and I will conference with you.